All right, family. Black Power. Black Power is the truth hour with General Sarasun Seti. Kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. I'm excited and delighted to be accepting members to not only the Sarasun Seti YouTube page, but the General Seti YouTube page, two dynamic powerhouse institutions on YouTube, giving you nothing but black power, black divinity. I want you to subscribe immediately. Don't hesitate to do that. Do it right now. We got memberships for the family. The link for the memberships is right there in the chat, is in the video description. All you had to do is just click it. You'll get a video introduction, rundown on the memberships, what they entail. You see one you like, you should most definitely join, even if you don't. I appreciate your presence here at the Sarasun Seti General Seti YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to advance. That's right, family. The General got a new website on Teachable, uploading a lot of dynamic curriculums, powerhouse certificate programs, and courses for your family. The first one up, 25 Steps to the Redemption of Definitive Black Manhood. I want you to get on over there. You know you need it. You know you need the structure. You know you need the guidance, and you're getting it from a brother who's been on the battlefield, pulling the brothers off, bloody and torn, heal them up, put their armor back on, shine it up, and put them on the throne. The General been doing that over 30 years. I want you to check out this dynamic program. Is designed specifically for you. We also got a brotherhood live stream, the Brotherhood of Hebrew, sitting down discussing very valuable information, important information pertinent to our growth and development. Check it out, family. Click the link, go over the curriculum, become a brother of the brotherhood. That's right. Ring the alarm, KingSeti.com, online marketplace, official General Sarasun Seti DVD lectures, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies, home decor, accessories for every room in the house. I got something for your family. I know you're going to like and love. Check it out. Get a discount. Shop and save, and shop. Pull the fire alarm, GeneralSeti.com, Seti University, over 2,500 videos, 40 different subjects, all the subjects that you know and love from the General. Classic upon classic. You already know Old Mecca. We just did the Old Mecca right there on Patreon. The fresh out the pack 2025 hard body. But this is Seti University. All the classics over the last 20 years. There's nothing like it. And I'm guaranteeing you, nothing like it. There's nowhere on the planet where you can go in each one of these subjects and find so many dynamic live streams waiting on you when you get there. So check it out, family. And everybody knows Seti popping on Patreon. The poppin'est page on Patreon by far. Yes, we did get down today. The Old Mech Voyages of the Nile is up there. It's a powerhouse. All you have to do is go to Patreon, become an advanced scribe, and that's what you is. You've been listening long enough. You're an advanced scribe. Become, sign up for the advanced scribe and get all of them hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5 hour lectures, and they are all powerful, amazing, and dynamic. I want you to all the family out there to donate to the General. Thank you. Those that would like to donate to this hard-working General, link right there in the chat in the video description. Click it. And I thank you ahead of time. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels. King Seti, General Seti, Sarasun Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends. And comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because I will ban your ass. Nah. People ask me to weigh in on this. And, I weigh in. And I'm going to tell you just like this. It's one thing about Egypt. Egypt is so magnificent. Everybody want to claim it. Everybody got an answer. Majority of these people who got all these wild theories, their ancestors were still in the caves when Egypt was flourishing, blossoming on the planet. They are not eyewitnesses at all to, Egypt when it was alive, and it's still alive. But when it was breathing, and the, the greatness of Egypt, it was all over the planet. They was nowhere to be found. So when we start talking about research, first and foremost, you're not a primary. Your people are not primary. You see, ain't no one. You can't find me one as a race. The white race is not a primary witness to the greatness of Egypt. They came in, Egypt was already old. Egypt was already in decay. You see, Egypt was at the end of its heyday. So they did not witness Egypt when it was breathing, when it was flourishing, when it was blossoming. So everything that is being said now is conjecture. Okay? It's conjecture. Okay? And so what I had to tell people is you don't get further and further and further away from a moment in time and become and you achieve more reliable information. You cannot, you got 48 hours, just like they say, 48 hours to solve a crime. And if you don't solve that crime within 48 hours, your chance especially a murder, your chance is cut in half of ever solving the crime. And when you come up, and we're not saying this is a crime, we talking about doing research. Even when you do research, you have to, you have to court off the scene. Even if you find something in the ground, you tape it off so nobody, pollute the scene. And so, over we talking about 5,000 years, and people are under the illusion that the white man technology can do anything. You ain't got a time machine, okay? And you ain't got primary verification of anything that you're talking about. And that's what I require. I require primary verification, and which means unless you got a goddamn time machine and you can bring Imhotep to 2025 to verify what you're talking about, then it's just conjecture. And the further and further and further you get away from a moment in time, the less reliable the information becomes. You got people that was there that witnessed Egypt, and they didn't say shit about no aliens. Okay? And this is really what the conjecture is. That somehow Egypt is so advanced that, humanity does not have the possibility, and I speak African, really is African, does not have the possibility to be able to build this magnificent civilization that we call Egypt. And so, you didn't have all these crackpots down through the ages, Edgar Casey, Madame Blavatsky, even Aleister Crowley, and all these crackpots. And these was the first ones that really came with all this wild out theories, is Hall of Records and shit. And y'all niggas is fall for that shit. No fuck is you looking up under the goddamn ground for some Hall of Records. And goddamn Egypt got writing over everything. And you, what the fuck is you talking about? Egypt is the Hall of Records. It's not, and so you go all this writing you see on all these temples, and you talking about you up under the ground looking for some Hall of goddamn Records, and the Hall of Records is all over Egypt. Make that shit make sense. That's like a goddamn smoking mirror. Somehow you gonna go up under there and find the language is a secret language. So no matter what is up under there, you can't read it. You can't even read what's on the walls. You see, you can't even read what's above the ground. So what the fuck is y'all talking about below the ground? Now, I'm not at all saying that Ancient Egypt did not have, and I got the video, did not have superhuman advanced technology, which they did. It's obvious, you see. But when you take in consideration how long African people have been on the planet, then you can understand the course of development that it took to construct the pyramids, you see. And so when you look at the evidence, the pyramids, it is mind blowing. You see, it's mind blowing. And but the Africans most definitely, and they showed that they built it. They ain't show no other evidence, and all that shit that y'all see at Abydos, somebody carved that shit in the wall. I had already broke down the symbols, and they went in there and chiseled over the symbols and shit to create some fictional shit. You know what I'm saying? Egypt, anything you see in Egypt, you can find it. It's gonna be a duplicate somewhere. You see, it'll be all over the walls. You ain't gonna find no one little, you know what I'm saying? If they believe that somehow some damn aliens landed on the planet, you will find that all over the wall. There's nobody ever talked about no damn aliens. Of all the people that went to Egypt, that were eyewitnesses. See, y'all niggas don't know how to do research, and because y'all fall into fantasy, you understand what I'm saying? Once I determine your legitimacy, I don't even, as a race, once I look at it as a race. The white race was under in the caves. Primarily all the age of ancient Egypt, the Caucasian was in the cave, period. There's no evidence of a European doing anything on the planet prior to Alexander, and which was around 332 BC. And when they came in, they was barbarians. You see, they was goddamn barbarians. And so now you letting the descendants of barbarians who came in at the end of Egypt, it ain't even the last chapter. It's a whole new book. The last chapter is when the last African king sat on the throne in ancient Egypt. That was the last. This is a whole new book. It has no primary evidence for any fucking thing that they speak on. And so now you done got further and further and further and further away, and the story has changed drastically. It has changed drastically from the eyewitness and researchers and visitors of Egypt who mention nothing about no goddamn aliens. Nah, Herodotus talks about the labyrinth that was up under. He's talking about, I believe it was Amenemhat. Now, this great labyrinth of Amenemhat, I believe it was the third, who built he built two pyramids. He built the last large pyramid, Amenemhat. But it was also recorded that he built one of the largest labyrinth buildings ever created. Said it had something like 1,500 rooms above the ground and 1,500 rooms below the ground. And so you can see, even with the Valley of the Kings, that they carved down into the earth. So, anybody, you looking for one fucking under the pyramids. If it was, big fucking deal. It's all kind of shit up under Egypt. So you mean to tell me this? And so this is what makes it so, so fantastical and shit. That people's is looking for a hall of records up under the pyramid, and they got temples with all type of writing or all above the ground. No, nobody can read none of it. So what the fuck? Even if you did see in that hall of records, that's that theosophic shit. Because they say some goddamn, and I listen, and y'all don't know the whole story because y'all don't want to know the story. You see, that shit come from theosophy that some, Atlantean priests came from Atlantis and they brought with them records of Atlantis, great, powerful and advanced knowledge on record, and this nigga, silly Billy Carson and shit, and all this emerald tablets and shit, and so that's another thing that, when you go to the origin of this hall of records or this, up under the pyramids, up under the Sphinx, this shit is occultist, that's trying to, create this fantasy that somehow some priests from Atlantis had come to Egypt and they the ones that built Egypt. You see, this nigga silly Billy Carson talking about some Anunnaki came down and, they landed in Sumeria and then they come to Egypt and they founded Egypt and, and all this bullshit. This is theosophy. This is Madame Blavatsky or William Steele Olcott and all this bullshit that they done created. And so, people have been digging up under these pyramids for 3,000 years. I understand we got technology now. Now, if they find some technology, it's still human ingenuity. It ain't got nothing to do with no goddamn aliens or none of that. But what they putting out, because I got the video, is it projecting, and I understand electricity. I understand our people have the power. If they could build a pyramid, of course, they could build electricity. But somehow what they trying to insinuate that this was somehow that the goddamn pyramid could just take the fuck off and fly into the air. And if they had that type of ingenuity, why would the fuck they put damn near a mountain worth of granite when you can goddamn create something much lighter than that if you was trying to build a damn spaceship? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck you gonna build a goddamn mountain worth of granite and you go, motherfucker, you gonna need, I don't know what kind of rocket boosters to get that motherfucker off the ground. I mean, goddamn, boy, the shit that people say, they show the pyramid taking off and shit, and somehow this is a great, it's a great goddamn this, that, and I mean, damn, they done found enough pyramids to know what's inside of them. And of course, it could be the Great Pyramids, it could be levels up under there because it's possible. It's solely possible that, because it's been recorded that, and then, like I say, I done been down into the Valley of the King, and I mean, you can't just walk in. Shit, you got to go through a shaft and shit. You know what I'm saying? And you got to duck down. You got to duck and slide. And I mean, it could be, it could be the length of a house or two houses sliding down. And you got to kind of bunch up and shit and work your way down the slide until you get all the way at the bottom, some of them, and it opens up into a cavern, you see. And so some of them got 2 and 3 levels. I mean, when you go into the Valley of the Kings, I mean, these is like skyscrapers under the ground, because you come to one level and then you go down some more stairs and you're on another level, and you could have you could have a room to the left, you could have a room to the right, you go down some more stairs. You see, you could be 3 levels, worth of down in the cavern of the earth. So all this looking for some damn Hall of Records, these is the Hall of Records. That shit is garbage. What they have you looking for one goddamn room, and there's rooms all over Egypt, thousands. You know what I'm saying? And all the information is sacred on the wall. That's the Hall of Records all over there. But see, they trying to fool people by making you believe that somehow this is some alien technology. And Silly Billy Carson, another one of these theosophists. And, if it was true, then why would it take so long to figure this shit out? People been digging up under the pyramid for now, and I'm quite sure there's some things up under there, but it was human ingenuity. It ain't gonna be no goddamn alien technology. I can guarantee you that. This is only if the white man could claim Egypt, he would not play the alien card. Why is it? See, when you look at the pyramid, and it's strictly the Great Pyramids. You see what I'm saying? It's strictly the Great Pyramid. Why you don't hear no motherfucker talking about aliens built Greece? You know why? Because it just show you what civilization was the most advanced civilization. Why you don't hear about aliens building Mesopotamia? Because it don't take no aliens to build no mud mounds. It don't take no aliens to do no shit like that, So only in Egypt is where you find, and maybe a couple of temples in India, where they try to say some aliens hide. But they don't do that with Rome. They don't do that with Greece. You see? They don't do that with no other civilization, because when you look at it, it don't require no extraterrestrials to come and build it. It's humanly possible to do. And so the reality is to keep from African people taking ownership, you see, of what's in, what is obviously theirs. The thing is, not only when the models and, they had these little models, they didn't took so much shit out of Egypt, it's ridiculous. You see, they didn't took so much shit out of Egypt, it's fucking ridiculous. Let me come in my comment. Yeah. So I'm looking at this shit. This shit is AI. I got the video, some of the video of what they claim. They claim that they got this technology where they could, through frequency and shit, that they could see, if something feel if something is in the earth and so on. And some people say they didn't say they got different theories. Some people say they saw a sarcophagus. You see what I'm saying? Some people say they saw a sarcophagus. Some people is saying that they seeing these goddamn like coils and shit, which I'm seeing, and they got these long coils up under the pyramid, but they didn't been under the pyramid. They didn't been under the pyramid. I didn't seen the caverns up under the pyramid. You see? So some people show that it's damn near connected to the floor of the pyramid. That's not true. Because there's caverns up under the pyramid that you can go down under there. You can go down there. I didn't see. You can go up under the Sphinx. They didn't been under there. This not the first time people didn't been under. Man, them thieves and motherfuckers didn't been under there a long time ago, looking, and they didn't damn near loot it. So, they didn't dug and shit and this, that, and the third. They didn't, and I'm quite sure it's much that has never been, located. But let me play this video for y'all.
What is being hidden beneath the Great Pyramid of Khafra? What has been found beneath the...
Nah. Do you see that? Nah, if that was up under the damn pyramid, this is AI. Y'all got to understand, this shit is AI. Ain't no goddamn, I would love to see this. If it was real, I acknowledge it. You see what I'm saying? It's still humanly possible. It ain't like it's something that's not humanly possible. Okay? But, let's make this shit make sense.
Ancient wonder. We say hidden, as these newly established claims have met a suspiciously familiar wall of opposition. One we have experienced a great many times during our aiding in establishing the facts surrounding particularly controversial finds.
This is AI. This is not factual up under the pyramid. This is AI.
As mentioned in a recent video, many of the usual suspects, including none other than that of Chief of Antiquities, Zahi Hawass, have joined the public discourse simply to rubbish these potentially groundbreaking claims. telling the press that the find complete nonsense, the discovery is nothing more than background noise, some even claiming the entire project a complete hoax.
And you know what? At some point in time, you know, because what they want to do, they want to continue to go. See, these theosophists, they just like everybody else. If you come into the knowledge of self, then they cease to exist. If you come in and use all that shit that they've been talking for the last hundred some odd years, 100 and maybe 20 years, that shit is null and void. So they trying to stay alive. They got a whole, you know, they got a whole century of you know, beliefs and shit that they done conjured up in this theosophy and shit, and they fighting for their existence, just like all Christianity and Judaism, and so many of these motherfuckers will create these, you know, these false claims and shit to have you continuing to, you know, go in the extraterrestrial and, you know, being, you know, all out in space and shit. And so, yeah, the reality is they just do not want African people to have ownership of what is obviously their own history. Okay, again, only Egypt do they treat this way, and you know, and say aliens. They don't do it for no other ancient civilization because it's not great enough to even claim that because it's humanly possible. But because Egypt and Nubia is the mother of all civilization on the planet and is in Africa, you see, they need you know, a means of stealing that from us. You know, well, North Africa is, you know, is not necessarily you know, was indigenous Africans up there that, you know, North Africa, they take North Africa and put it in the Caucasian world. You know, and they got, you know, and things of that nature. Yeah, they'll take North Africa and say that they Caucasians and shit. Yes, they do this shit. They do this shit just to steal our history. And so, you know, obviously, you know, this
Yet,
is
rather
obviously
admirably,
AI.
the individuals involved in the project have held their ground. Additionally, they have a very...
It's been scientists going up under the pyramid, y'all. We got to stop this shit. If them goddamn scientists have been up under that damn pyramid and they saw that, that would have been revealed. That's right up under the pyramid. You see what I'm saying? That's right up under the damn pyramid. And you got to, I mean, so make that make sense. You know, how is this possible that this could be right up under the damn pyramid, and scientists and all type of researchers, thieves and everything else been going up under the pyramid for damn near 5,000 years, and ain't nobody seen this? And ain't nobody seen this. This is bullshit. I can show you books. You understand what I'm saying? Goddamn Napoleon and all of them. They went into them damn pyramids. Man, they went in there deep. They was in every cavern and shit. And like I said, they done been up under the damn, I mean, they got ways into the pyramid. You understand what I'm saying? They got ways. Ain't nobody, and you ain't got it's you know, it's doors on the outside, you know, that you could go that lead down through there, you know. And so this, you know, you can continue to let these people play with your mind and this, that, and the third. Ask the white man where he was when Egypt was standing and was breathing. He was nowhere to be found. You're not an eyewitness to the reality of ancient Egypt. So anything that comes now today is so far from the truth, you don't have no primary verification for it. All the scholarship that then came down through the ages, and we talking about researchers that were closer, that was actually in Egypt when it was alive and breathing, had opportunities to ask the priest information, and ain't not one time has an alien ever been brought up until these goddamn theosophist motherfuckers. You understand what I'm saying? Like Silly Billy Carson and this other nigga, Ralph Tart, Smart or Infinite Lies, and I'm gonna get on his ass too. You understand what I'm saying? Sitting up there, two silly ass niggas lying on ancient Egypt so they could continue to fool people with all this damn theosophist bullshit. Wait a minute, let me bring some more up here. I don't need too much to continue. If it's, man, do you know if something like that was under the damn pyramid, do you know it would have been found a long time ago?
Different, yet to us familiar opinion regarding what the results of their project is starting.
And you could even look on the walls. That's shit bullshit. That's like he said, that's an interpretation. That's some bullshit. That ain't even real hieroglyphs and shit. So you mean to tell me, I mean, what is this? This is fabrication.
Indicate. After gathering the data, the research team used an AI algorithm to turn the information into visible images, allowing us to be the first, perhaps in millennia, to gaze upon these hidden structures.
Look at that.
One of the images, quote, exhibits a vertically elongated feature with varying intensity distributions, suggesting the presence of a deep well-like formation, Sikole, one of the lead researchers, told the press. Her credentials, including having been involved in forensic science for over 25 years. She continues. The upper portion of the well reveals patterns indicative of potential helical or spiral formations, which could correspond to a staircase or a sloped passageway. Preliminary estimations indicate that the well extends significantly underground, with notable signal variations at multiple depths, or indeed metal chambers at various levels. Professor Conyers agreed with this hypothesis, helpfully adding that spiral descending shafts are to be found in other ancient structures, such as the Pyramid of Unas and certain Middle Kingdom tombs.
Okay.
Quote, the helical feature aligns with descriptions of spiral descending shafts found in other ancient structures. The team has also been kind enough to enlighten the press.
But that's what I said. I mean, I went down in a shaft.
Forward, already planning to now scan the.
I mean, they use the shafts and shit to get the sarcophaguses down there. You know what I'm saying? And a lot, you know, and some of them was, yeah, they was straight up and down where they took the sarcophagus and they put it over it and they took the ropes and lowered it down into the tomb, and some was on a slant where it was easier to, you know, in the Valley of the Kings where they would slide it down there, you know, on a slant with, you know, and you know, with gravity pulling it, and probably made it a lot easier because a lot of these sarcophaguses was really heavy. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I didn't seen shafts, okay? But what they talking about, man, if you see how long these damn coils was, and that they connected to the floor of the pyramid, they got room, they could go up under the pyramid. Yes, it is rooms up under there. If they would have saw that, unless they hiding it, I didn't see, you know, I didn't heard a lot of scholars say they didn't been up under the pyramid. Okay, up under, you can go up under the Sphinx. I mean, it's probably some glyphs, some rooms, just like any other, with some hieroglyphs on the walls and things of that nature. But that's what, you know, I mean, it's just like any other area in Egypt. Is nothing so profound. I'm not saying not profound, but is what you would find in any other temple in ancient Egypt. So this is just a theosophical madman scientist who's trying to continue to mislead us, and we cannot go in that direction. I do believe that our people had great science, that they had electricity, they very well could have had all type of nuclear energy and things of that nature, and what they're doing with it today is minuscule compared to what the ancients could do with it. But that's human ingenuity. That's not no goddamn alien shit. The fact is they ain't had nothing to do with it. And instead of and because they don't want to give Africans credit for nothing, you understand, they rather create a mythology about some goddamn aliens building the pyramid. It's just not gonna happen. Herodotus said he seen the Egyptians, and all the Greeks said they seen the Egyptians and the Ethiopians, and that they was burnt of skin, they was woolly hair, they was Africans. And so that's just what it boiled down with. And because their ancestors have given up the truth on who the original Egyptians was, it's this need to make the Egyptians almost look like slaves to some goddamn aliens who came down here, and they say the Anunnaki took apes and mixed they DNA with the apes and made humans. Man, please. Would y'all motherfuckers miss me with this comic book network shit, cartoon network shit? Please. You know, if that's what you want to believe, go ahead. But let them bring 100% fact and proof to this reality. And when they do that, then we could talk about it. Until then, all of that shit is conjecture. Stick with information closest to when the civilization was, was breathing in because they witnessed it. They saw it when it was flourishing, when it was blossoming. They were able to talk to the priests, those who were learned in all the history of ancient Egypt, and whatever the Africans told them is closest to the truth and not this bullshit that you seeing on Comic Book Network, okay? So this is the general saying thank you for being here. We just getting started for the night. I ain't got no more time for this. I'm going to get on Silly Billy Carson and his Ralph Tart, Smart, Ralph Tart, Infinite Lies, and I'm going to get on them because they looking for a means and ain't found shit. And everybody's just going off of a goddamn AI video. Ain't found shit. Ain't brought nothing up under the ground. Y'all just want to be digging and continuing to dig and pillage and shit and don't find nothing. And even if you found something, it's in alignment with this ancient Egyptian civilization. That's all it is. All right, family. Appreciate you. I'll be right back. I'm in the house. All right. Let me see here. Say they use telekinesis. Yeah. All right, family, I'm coming right back. Don't you go nowhere. Yourself. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. Share with your family and friends. I'll be right back. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily liberation through African education and confrontation. What up, Syntax? Black Power.